Hey guys, it's the Bachelor Chef. Today I'm going to show you the easiest and tastiest chicken marinade recipe. After you marinate this chicken with the ingredients that I'm about to show, you can throw it on a barbecue or you can just toss it in the oven and cook it. And this will create the most juiciest and tenderest chicken. Tenderest, I don't know if that's a word, you'll ever have. Okay, so for that we're going to need red chili powder, smoked paprika, salt, pepper, chicken, yogurt, and garlic. There's some optional ingredients that you can add, but it's totally up to you. I'm going to show you what the optional ingredients are. So first of all, let's put our garlic into this. So the garlic is minced. It's actually blended and it's just water in it, and I just formed a cube. So it's frozen garlic, so it's just about to melt. Um, this is the way you can preserve fresh garlic. I'll make another episode for this to show you how to preserve garlic for long periods of time by just blending it and making cubes out of it in the freezer. So it doesn't have any oil, it just has some water, but I'll show that in detail one day. So the next ingredient now, we're going to add yogurt. Now this is our most important ingredient, and the reason for that is we all know that we add acids in our meat marinades because acids tenderize the meat, but not all acids are equal. The acid in yogurt is lactic acid, and it reacts a little bit differently with the proteins in the meat than citric acid, which is lemons and limes. So lactic acid is very gentle on the meat. It also doesn't dehydrate the meat as much as citric acid does. So it retains a lot of moisture. That way your meats, whether it's goat, lamb, chicken, if you marinate it with yogurt, becomes juicier and tender. So it's very important to understand the science of anything that you're doing. So the lactic acid from our yogurt is going to tenderize the chicken, and it will make it softer and retain a lot of moisture, so it will be juicier. Okay, so what I've done here is I have added 3 tablespoons of yogurt, which should be sufficient for 2 kilos of chicken that I've got here. The next ingredient I'm going to add is obviously salt. Now salt you can add up to your taste. I'm just gonna take a big pinchful, which is roughly a flat tablespoon, I would say. I'm going to add a little more. So let's say 2 tablespoons of salt. Then I'm going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. So this is powdered pepper. After that, I'm going to add some red chili powder. So I'm adding a heaped teaspoon. So this should be enough for color and also the chili flavor. So if you like hotter, you can add more red chili powder, but I'm just going to add about a heaped teaspoon, but it's totally up to you. And yeah, so those are the ingredients: salt, pepper, yogurt, garlic, and you just mix it up, and that's your marinade. So if you want to go a step further, there's a couple of optional ingredients that you can add. Now I'm going to add turmeric. So this is optional. If you don't like turmeric, or if you don't have turmeric, you don't have to add it. I'm just going to add it because I have turmeric, and as we know, turmeric has many health benefits. It's highly anti-carcinogenic, anti-inflammatory, and it has other regulatory functions of the body, which it helps to maintain. So uh, if you can get some medicinal properties of a superfood in your regular food, then why not? So I try to add turmeric into everything I cook because it's so good for your body. So I've added a teaspoon of turmeric. Now the other optional ingredient that I'm going to add is this. So this is a tandoori masala. You can get that at an Indian store. If you live in India, then you can pretty much get it at any grocery store. But this is completely optional. The turmeric is optional as well. So I'm going to add a teaspoon of this. So I'm just going to roughly eyeball it. I usually don't measure my ingredients. I can just go by the visual look of it, depending on how much meat I have and how much surface area it's going to cover. That's a good way to cook. So your results may differ a little bit when you don't measure it, but I'm pretty confident with my skills, and I don't mind when it's a little bit different. But if you want to measure it, what I did was I put about a teaspoon and a half. So I will be writing the recipe in detail in the description, so make sure to check that out if you forget what I've added or if there's any confusion. All right, so let's get into it now. So all our ingredients are in here. My garlic has also defrosted, and then I'm just gonna pretty much just mix it all in. You don't have to use hands. You can use a spatula or spoon or tongs if you wish, but I feel like I have much more control when I add the marinade with my own hands, so that way I can make sure that the meat is properly coated with all this spices and my ingredients in the marinade. So I like to do it this way. If you don't like it, you can also wear gloves and then do it. But if you go in any restaurant and see how the chefs do it, this is how they do it. So this is, you can call it an tandoori chicken recipe, but you can have the option of not adding too many spices. So if you just keep smoked paprika, garlic, salt, pepper, and yogurt is the best tenderizer. Like I explained, the lactic acid is much better than citric acid. Lemon and lime juice can tenderize meat as well, but it dehydrates it a lot, and your meat ends up becoming rubbery and chewy as compared to yogurt, of course. And I just realized I haven't added the smoked paprika, so I'm just gonna add smoked paprika and I'll be back. Okay, so I've added a teaspoon and a half of smoked paprika. So I'm just gonna marinate this now and get my oven ready. So once this marinade is done, you have to let it sit for at least 2 hours. You can also do overnight if you wish, if you have enough time. But if you're in a bit of a rush, 2 hours is quite sufficient. It should tenderize the chicken enough and add plenty of flavor. So as compared to your boring barbecue chicken, you can just add these few spices and make it taste good. So let me know how this turns out, and yeah, write in the comments below. Thank you for watching.